Alright, chat. Frick. Here we go, chat. Vivid Stasis Part 2 Crosshatch is back. True. We gotta start off the stream with Crosshatch. Oh, I missed. Did my camera turn off? What miss, chat? What miss? I still cannot believe that someone got 5 million. I saw one miss, unfortunately, just one. True, there was only one miss, not 50. Anyways, we're doing chapters 2 and 3. Oh, there's a puzzle. There's 2. There's 2. Man, I love our first square bracket. Eat episode 1 and square bracket 0. But like, there actually weren't 50 misses. True. Guys, I have discovered the... Alright. For anyone that wasn't here for the first one, I accidentally discovered multiplayer. And we're not gonna play Crosshatch again. Okay, 7TV is doing a silly thing for April Fools where they make the entire chat Comic Sans, and I love it. But why is capital A using a completely different font? That's really funny. Hold up, hold up. It would be really funny if I just freaking... Oh, where's the freaking multi-track? There we go. This is what I mean. Why is it just not loading? Fudge. my god. Oh, by the way, no April Fools for Volt Rhythm this year. I forgot to plan the entirety of March, and now April Fools is too close to plan anything. Heck! Oh, it would be really funny if I could just find wherever the freaking font. It's font settings. Of course it is. Hold up. What if for a custom bad word I just put crosshatch? That would be really funny, but at the same time, I don't want to do that. Then no one can say anything about crosshatch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That would be too evil. Anyways. Anyways. Hold up, I gotta refresh that so that it works. Hold up, let me test it. Yo, it works! It works! It works! I can't believe it actually works! Alright, seriously though. Episode 10. We steps inside the ferry. The child is addicted to extra. We stepped inside the ferry, which more or less consisted of 2 long hallways. Very long hallways. Very sweet ferry. Here we are, crew. Shut up, Saturday. Anyways, hold up, I got one. That's really funny. Here we are, crew. Nobody says that. What if I just ban the words cross and hatch? What if I just ban the... Yo, blacklist sucks. I said it. Ari gave me what I can only describe as a death glare. Whatever. I'm gonna head off to see if I can... Wait, you made it too restrictive. We can't say at anymore. You know what? Fine. Fine. I'm not banning crosshatch. Only because crosshatch is peak. Anyways, whatever, I'm gonna head off to see if I can find the restroom. Let's reconvene a half hour before the ferry boards, okay? You can say crosshatch again, chat. Sounds like a plan. I need to stretch my legs anyways. Allison, you wanna walk with me? Oh no, but thanks to the offer. I think I wanna sit down and rest for a bit. Suit yourself, off to adventure. I walked off toward the center of the ferry. Taking a glance behind me as I walked, I noticed Allison sit down slowly, seemingly still bothered by what she'd said. Guys, for every miss that I get, I'm gonna make a turn on, hold up. This Rubik's Cube. The stream ends when I solve the Rubik's Cube. No, I'm just kidding. It's still trans day of visibility in my time zone. Yo, it is 12:42 a.m. for me. Whoa, they have so much stuff on these. So many people on important business or something. I should have brought a suitcase to blend in. Feels weird to be here without one. Do I even have a suitcase? I reached the cafeteria and looked around the tables, spotting a familiar girl. Is that Ari? Ari! I jogged across the wooden floor to Ari's slightly shorter figure. Oh wow, so you're just... Saturday, you're just calling Ari short? I can't believe you. Whoa, Saturday, chill a bit, what's up? Not much, I just saw you and wanted to say hi. Mind if I sit? I've been walking a while, and my legs are not made for that. Ah! Go right ahead, how's it been going? I sat down in the seat across from her. I don't know, kinda weird, I felt out of place here. Like, this is such an adult sense of circumstances, but I feel like such a kid. Everyone's here doing job stuff or whatever, and I want to tell myself what I'm doing is important, I guess, but I just feel so young and inexperienced. When do I feel like I know what I'm doing? Want to know secrets out of the day? You don't, really. I sure haven't, and I'm a big shot detective. I laughed. A big shot, you're 20. Harry looked at me defeatedly. Okay, maybe it was an exaggeration, whatever. You get the point. I guess so. Hey! Deltarune reference! Deltarune reference! It's a big shot! I guess so. So everyone just kind of doesn't know how to be an adult. The older you are, the better you are at pretending. But you aren't wrong. You're doing some pretty adult things. This whole investigation is intense. Not everyone would be able to handle it as well as you. I guess. That reminds me, though. I wanted to ask you about the museum. Do we know what caused the fire? Ari looked startled for a second. I guess she wasn't expecting that I bring up the museum incident, given what happened between Allie and I less than an hour prior. Officially, it's an open and shut case. Something about a gas valve. In a museum? Yeah, they have a kitchen or something, apparently. Though they never use it. Why do they have a kitchen in a museum? I'm sorry. If they never use it, how would there be a leak? Gas leak. Especially since the fire didn't have an obvious origin. No one really knows how. What does that mean? We don't know its origin, that's the point. I mean, like, where it started, its point of origin, you can usually tell by the way stuff spread where the fire started by using arc mapping. What's that? Oh god, I have to explain this. Essentially you look at where different wires got messed up from the heat and where you can, and from there you can assume where the fire started. But it's weird here because the entire system arced at around the same time. So they think it's a gas because it was spread around the entire building. Yeah, but a lot would need to go wrong for the entire system to go fall at once. A combination of really high gas density and a super messed up electrical system, pretty much. That's really weird. It kind of feels like it just happened, with no prior inciting incident or whatever. Yeah, we're stumped. A gas leak is just what we're saying because it's the most likely cause. However unlikely it is. I guess we don't know for now. We sat in silence for a little bit longer. I decided to ask Gary about my conversation with Allison. Hey, so, about Allison. Gary got me off with a chuckle. You're trying to figure out what the best way to talk to her about the thing she said earlier is, right? I'm really that easy to read? I mean this endearingly. Saturday. I mean this endearingly, Saturday, but you're really that easy to read. I'm right, aren't I? I'm sorry. Yeah, pretty much. I want to make sure she knows I don't, like, hate her guts for it or anything. But it did really catch me off guard and kind of stunned me in a moment. Harry thought for a second, but responded pretty quickly. Yeah, that's always a tricky one. I guess the important thing is just making sure she knows that it doesn't affect your friendship long term. She's still your best friend, or, you know, she probably wants a bit more than that, but... Oh my god! Chat, I'm shipping. But that's not for me to intervene in. I gave her an inquisitive look. Oh, what do you mean? Man, you're dancing figures. Hey, uncalled for, even if you're right! But yeah, just be honest with her and be caring with her, I guess. That's my advice. Well, try that, thanks. Harry stood up. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna go get something to eat, if that's okay. I was just sitting down while the wine was talking. You want anything? Nah, I just wanted to stop by because I saw you. I should probably go check in on Allie anyways. Are you sure you're gonna be okay by yourself? Of course I am. I'll be fine. Harry walked off and I stood up as well. Now, where would I find Allison? I walked toward the loading dock of the ferry, curious if I'd find Allison where I last saw her. Sure enough, there she was in the same spot, looking, honestly, kinda nauseous. Hey, you don't look too good. What's going on? I sat down in the seat next to her. She looked over at me. Oh, it's, sorry. I just get seasick really easily. I gave her a doubtful look. Come on, Allie, you know you can't lie to me. Your family used to love going out for boat rides, and you had the time of your life each time. What's really going on? I guess you do know me too well. It's nothing super big. I'm just worrying about... You're still worried about what you said on me earlier on complete accident, right? Yes, I am, I guess. Hey, it's okay, I promise. I know you didn't mean to, like, upset me. But you still got hurt by something I said. I don't understand how you can just forgive that. I guess it's not so much just forgiving it as it is, but I understand you didn't mean any harm with it. It startled me, but I'm not, like, hurting deep down because of it. Are you sure? Yeah, I guess. It's like, it feels weird, you know. I feel like I should have been more upset by given how horrifying the whole museum thing is. But right now, my will to find my sister is kind of overpowering in a way. I guess it almost feels like I don't have time to be letting myself get knocked off balance, when Suki is still out there somewhere unknown. Yeah, I see. Suddenly, a loud voice interrupts us. Beating! The cafeteria will be closing up shortly. If you would like to place an order, please do so within the next 5 minutes. I stood up quickly. Crap, I did want to get something. I'm really sorry. Allison, but can we continue the discussion later? Yeah, that's fine, I think. Okay, cool. Thanks. You're a real one. See you shortly. I ran off toward this cafeteria. Public get what I want before it close. Boink. No, let's get the story first, then we're gonna... Alright, chapter 11. It's 12, 13, 14, cross-stitched. Okay, what is that a reference to? Like, cross... Yo, cross-stitched! It's a reference, guys! It's a reference! Wait, that's the wrong thing. It's a reference, guys. To crosshatch. Alright, here we go, a cross-stitched meeting. Luckily, I managed to make it to the cafeteria in time. There was a bit of a line already, but I managed to beat most of them there. I guess I should decide exactly what I'm going for here. I pursued the menu they had on display, and ended up with a chicken wrap meal deal and a burning hot Mountain View. I've never had a burning hot soda before. This will either be incredible or the worst soda of all, the worst thing of all time. After paying for my food, I started walking back to where Allison was sitting down. Despite the relatively low amount of amenities, the ferry we were on boasted a reasonably large width, so walking back across it took longer than one might expect. While walking back, I passed through the decks area where people would set up their laptops and work while their ferry sailed. When I was passing by one of them, I noticed something that caused me to stop. Wait, is that Chio? Sitting in one of the cubicles was a woman, looking at a laptop. It was Chio Sakamura, an old friend of the Tasagare family from years back. I haven't seen her in years. What's she up to? And then I saw what was on her laptop since... Laptops? How many laptops? Laptop, and stopped in my tracks. It was the Shrine Report video. What was she doing with it? How did she know about it? I glanced around. Obviously, it would be somewhat suspicious. 500 laptops! 500 laptops. It's obviously 500 laptops. I glanced around. Obviously, it would be someone suspicious if I just started obviously spying on him. so I tried to keep my glance on the laptop from one of the seats to get adjacent to it. I watched Chio for a little while. She appeared to be intently watching the video and trying to scribble something on the notepad of some kind. What is she writing? Is she trying to crack the code like we did? Only after I opened my mouth did it realize. Crap! Oh my god, I said that out loud! She just started looking over me. I expected her to calm down when she saw me. If anything, her eyes went even wider. Saturday? Okay, Saturday, play it off. Lean into the curiosity angle. You can build this back. Tried to walk over, but tripped on the seat and fell on the cushioned seat. Good God! Ow! The woman looked at me with a worried look. Hi, Chiro. Long time no see. What's that video you're watching? It's pretty weird. Saturday, are you okay? That sounded like it hurt. Oh, trust me, this happens all the time. I'm fine. Anyway, Chio interrupted me. You trip over chairs and fall face first to the ground all the time? Is that not normal? And speaking of, like, not normal, where did you find that video? I was walking by and saw it. I got curious, sorry. Oh, this? It got sent to me by some anonymous number a few minutes ago. I thought it might be spam. Someone sent Chio the Shrine Report video just now, but why? Anyway, Saturday, it's been so long. How have you been? Been okay, how about you? The freelance journalism angle still going strong? Well, I'm definitely still doing it, but it's not profitable enough that I don't also have to have another job on the side. What is you going off to the mainland now? Oh, I figured it was best to be honest with her. She was an old family friend after all, so I trusted her. I explained that Suki had gone missing, and I was trying to find her. Oh god, Suki's missing? I'm really sorry to hear. Yeah, to make a really long story short, it's likely that the video you just got sent has some relation to it. It was a clue that we followed, and it led us here. Yeah, I'll admit, that is really odd, man. That's awful. Suki was always such a nice person. What is she thinking, leaving her sister all alone? I wish I could tell you. Truth be told, once I find her, I've got some choice words for her. Oh god! Suddenly a loud jingle interrupted us. Oh wait, I can't just pull it up. I can't just pull up a airport jingle. This ferry is about to dock in Kagoshima. All vehicle passengers, please return to your vehicles, and all foot passengers, please line up at the exit gates. Thank you for riding with us today. Are you kidding already? Chio, however, didn't seem bothered at all by the discussion being cut short. Okay, I gotta run back to my car, but I have an idea for you, Saturday. What's that? Can I take you and whoever you're traveling with out to dinner tomorrow evening? I want to catch up with you since it's been like 5 years. 5 years? Good God! Airport jingle. Okay, we got it. Alright. And you can give me the full story about what's led up to this point. Yeah, sure, that would be fine. You travel around Kagoshima much? I thought you lived in Tokyo. She nodded. Yeah, I know my way around. Did I ever tell you some of my extended family owns a cabin in this general area of Japan? So I like to come down here and sometimes go to visit Tanegashima and to get away from the bustle of the capital. I do really gotta get going, so I'll see you tomorrow night. Okay, here's my number so we can keep in touch. Chio showed me their phone and I wrote down my displayed phone number. Radio, I'll see you there. I'll see you then. Chio ran off toward the vehicle desk elevator, since the exit gate line was on the other side of the ferry. I started walking back towards it to catch up there. Man, it's been a while since I thought about Chio. Didn't Allie and I meet her through Dad's job at the, where's my dad work again? Suddenly I felt like I had God, I'm not thinking about it because we're gonna catch up tomorrow. I can ask her. I ran off toward the exit gates. By the time I reached the exit gate line, Allison and Mary were already there, waiting for me. I waved to them as I ran. Hey, hope you saved me a spot in the line too. Allison looked over me. She looked a lot better than before. Thank goodness. I don't think it's that formal of a line. People are just kind of grouped here waiting to disboard. Disboard? Is that a word? I'm pretty sure that's a chat move. I'm pretty sure that's a chat room service. Oh, right. Well, I'm getting out of here. The ferry and the... I don't know. It's... Eric glanced toward the exit gate, reminiscing. The mainland, huh? I haven't been back here in years. Me neither. This is going to be super exciting, even if we're not here in the best of manners. So let's try and enjoy ourselves anyway, okay? I don't see why not. It seems depressing letting ourselves get depressed the whole time. True. By the way, Saturday, I noticed you talking to somebody while I was walking around. Who is that? Oh, I'll tell you about that on the way. It's nothing bad, promise. You getting jealous, Allison? No, I'm not. Allison says what profusely. Someone's jealous. I guess this is kind of hot out today. About who? About who, Chad? Alright. Number 12. Arrival. Hold up. Hold up, what does this say? I love this game. True. This is peak. Well, I'm gonna put it inside of a TTS.
RARD episode 1-2.
It's gonna get more peak, by the way. Alright. Don't spoil it. I swear, if there's any spoilers, I'm going to time out everyone in chat. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, there's 3 more episodes and then we're done with then we're done with chapter 2, I think. Of course. By the time we got off the ferry, it was already late into the evening. It's 3 p.m. What do you mean late into the evening? It's freaking 3. Alright, team, let's make our way to the hotel. Sat, I booked the hotel. Do you even know where it is? I mean, I definitely know. I just kind of forgot, you know. Allison sighed. We need to head 2 blocks this way to get to a train, and it should be right off the exit once we do. We're the 3rd stop out. Harry glanced at Allison skeptically. How did you even afford a hotel? I'd have pitched in if I knew you were doing it so early. I have a bit of saved money. It's an important cause, and I know Saturday would have gone out without even thinking of a hotel until it was time to turn in. Fair point. Hey, I would have at least remembered by like 7:30. My point exactly. By the way, who was it that you were talking with on the ferry? You never told us who they were. Oh, it completely slipped my mind. Her name was Chio. She's an old family friend. We talked a bit, and she said she'd talk to me more at dinner. Oh, and she invited us to dinner tomorrow night before we go out to Shrine. Sorry I didn't mention it sooner. Why didn't you tell me it was Chio Sat? You know I know her. Oh yeah, I guess you would. Sorry, it's been so long since I saw her that it completely slipped my mind. That's alright, I understand. Just be more mindful, you know. Keep us in the loop. Yeah, sorry. Really should be a bit more careful, especially with the Geology Museum incident. I don't want to worry her too much. At least she's okay. I'll just be more careful. Well, no use standing around here. Let's make haste for the hotel before we check. Make haste to the hotel before we miss check-in. Right. We walked through the small port town of the city. What the frick was that? Small pun in this sport. Our hotel was very close to the terminal, so we spent a bit of extra time. Didn't take long to find a hotel Allison booked. Oh dang, it took like an hour. Whoa, is this my room for the night? This is huge. It's really not that big. I jokingly glared at her angrily. We are at... Alright guys. the update for RGB sub. It is currently like 13 days left, and we're at 38%. Where's your sense of whimsy? Me thinks you need to be a bit more whimsical, Allison. Allison looked at me defeatingly. Me thinks? It's a word. Ari laughed. I'm glad you're finding the room comfortable. It's Saturday. Let's rest up. We have a big day tomorrow. Though I'm sure you would rather have dinner in a different setting. What do you mean? Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Go to my room. I'm tired. Okay, bye. Bro, the freaking side plot between Allison and freaking Saturday is crazy. This is your room. Good night. It's 4:30. Allison flopped onto her bed and lay face down. What's with her? Don't worry about it. She's probably tired from the ferry. I'm gonna get some fresh air. What are you gonna do? The same thing, probably. I'm not even remotely tired. Not like sleeping at 4:30 p.m. would be a good idea anyway. Wanna join me? I'm probably just gonna walk down by the beach for a bit. Sure, why not? I got nothing better to do. I put my bags down on my bed, and Ari and I walked out to the hotel room. I glanced back at Allison, who seemed to have actually fallen asleep. What's up with that, anyways? The beach we walked by was a small inlet that housed many different boats. Ari and I sat on the concrete edge of the road that dropped off directly into the sand. Hey, Saturday, can I ask you something? Oh yeah, go ahead. What is Allison to you? I looked over at her curiously. What do you mean? Like, what do you see her as? Well, she's my best friend. I've known her since I was a toddler. We always got along really well, despite the fact that she was always the cautious one and I was always the rambunctious one. I mean, they always get along. I see. Why do you ask? Oh, no reason, really. I'm just curious. It's rare to see people get along as well as you two. Yeah, I guess it is. My connection with Allison feels much stronger than my connection with anyone else, and I don't really know why. How did you two become friends? I mean, I know you said you've known her whole life, but I'm curious. Oh man, I don't even remember when I first met her. It was like 2 or 3. But I think the big thing that connected us was that she was the first person to really supportive about my transition. Your transition? Yeah, I didn't always look like this, or have this name, or be a girl. Oh, you mean it like that? I see. Sorry, I didn't know. Hey, that's a good thing. It means it's going well, but yeah, it's not the other people I first told were unsupportive per se, but more so like they didn't really get it, and they just kind of waited to get used to it, I think. Like nowadays, my family refers to me as I am now without any problems, but it took a few years to get to that point. It didn't help, and my dad was always busy with work, so he picked it up slower than anyone else. One of the things I remember really clearly, was a day in, I think, like 2016. Allison came running into my room and scared the crap out of me because I didn't know she was at my place. But she seemed really upset, so I asked her what happened, and she told me she accidentally used my own name today instead of Saturday. It was the first time she'd made that mistake in years, and she felt insanely bad about it. It's the sweetest thing that I've ever seen. That's a sign of someone who really cares about you, you know? Yeah, I know that no matter what happens, Allison is sick with me. And then I took that for granted and acted out when I was upset about my missing sister. Great going, me! We both fell silent, watching the waves as the sun moved closer to the mountains overhead. We should get back to our hotel room. Be careful not to wake up Allison, okay? Yeah, of course. Thanks for the chat. We stood up and began walking back to the hotel room where Allison was sleeping. 13! Chat, it's more Saturday X Allison, chat. Nah, I'm just kidding. Dang, hate this thing my body does, like, where it wakes up and refuses to sleep again until it gets what it wants. I really should just use the bathroom, but I don't want to wake Allison up. I rolled over in the small bed a couple more times in a pointless effort to just let myself sleep again, but surprisingly it was to no avail. Fine, I guess I'll have to be insanely quiet. I slowly got out of the single-person bed, by the way, and began to tiptoe slowly across the hotel room. That, however, seemed to be a no-fail as I stepped on a crack in the floor and caused it to creak extremely loudly. Why did these things always happen? God dang it. In a panic, I looked over at the bed that sat beside mine. To my surprise, however, it was also empty. Is she not in bed? Where did Allie go? I looked around a bit and noticed that the door to the balcony was slightly ajar. I guess she's getting some fresh air? Curiously, I walked over and opened the doors to the balcony. Sure enough, there she was, sitting on one of the two chairs facing the fence that separated the wooden platform from the pavement below. Allie, that you? Allison jumped a little bit. Fair enough, I guess, as I assumed she wasn't expecting me to be out. She turned around. Oh, it's 2 a.m.! It's 2 a.m.! Why? It's just you, Saturday. Give me a bit of a spook there. Yeah, sorry, but what are you doing awake? It's nearly 3 in the morning. Allison fidgeted a bit before I answered. Oh, me, I had not much. Getting some fresh air and didn't really take a genius to figure out what she was doing out. Ah, you're having trouble sleeping, are you? Yeah, I've been trying to all night to little success. You too, then? Well, kinda. Mostly because I had to get up to pee. You know how it is. Allison chuckled as the answer. As the answer she was expecting was anything but that. Yeah, I get that. Mind if I sit out here too? There are 2 chairs after all. Yeah, that's absolutely okay. Go ahead. I sat down and both of us looked out at this sports complex around the road. Across the road. We sat in silence for a while. I looked up into the night sky. Without clouds, it was very easy to spot the countless stars and the shapes they made up. Do you think this is the right thing to be doing? Allison looked over at me questioningly. What do you mean? I mean, pushing onward to try and solve this problem myself. Traveling to the mainland to look for my sister. I keep telling myself that I'm not doing this for the sake of having something to do, or an adventure to go on. But I think deep down, I'm scared that that is the case. And I'm dragging you and Ari along with me on a wild goose chase out of some need to feel like I'm doing something important. Really? What makes you think that? Well, for one, I had the Geology Museum incident should be weighing down on my mind. You know, not only did I nearly die, but one of my best friends and her sister almost nearly died. I feel like I should be a bit more messed up from that than I am. It all feels unreal, I guess. And I don't mean unreal in a like, this is so insane way, but more like it literally doesn't feel like it happened, even though it did. Allison let out a lighthearted laugh. I think I was more worried about the whole thing than even you were. I don't doubt it. I'm sorry, by the way. What are you apologizing for? For the way I was acting, I guess. I said some pretty awful things to you before I rushed into the Burning Museum. But it's not only that. The whole day I was acting out of line, ignoring you when you just wanted to help. I won't lie, when you said that stuff to me before rushing in, it did do a bit of a number on me. It hurts to think about the idea that I'm just holding you back. I've struggled a lot with that, my whole life, in all of my relationships, family, friends, or whatever the case is. The last thing I want to be to someone is a burden. But I don't hold it against you. I understand why you acted that way. The whole day was a blur of dealing with the idea of Suki having gone missing. Yeah, but I guess that's the thing. I'm scared in the sense that I wasn't acting that way out of my worry for Suki, but instead just trying to play some kind of protagonist. Whatever the case is, it's not an excuse to be awful to my best friend, though. That much is for certain. Yeah, I get that. It does mean a lot that you apologize, as much as I don't hold it against you. It still did. It did still hurt. Yeah, sorry. We sat in silence again, for a little while. The street lights 3 stories down flickered on and off every once in a while. At some point, I started counting the flickers to pass the time. 5 flickers in, however, Allison spoke up. Also, she did count. For what it's worth, I don't think you're dragging me along, huh? I'm not here out of my need to help you as much as I am here out of my own want to help you. I don't really feel like you forced me into this, I guess. It's more so like I'm here because I want to support you through whatever happens next. You're too kind to me. You deserve it. I don't know if I do. I'm telling you that you do. What if you're wrong? I'm not. Why are you so confident? Because I've known you for as long as I have. I know who you are, Seth. Not just the way you are or why you act that way, but the person you are deep inside. I know who Saturday Tasagata is. Sometimes I wonder if I even know who Saturday Tasagata is. If you ever forget, I'll be right there to remind you. Because whether you're doing this out of your worry for your sister or your need to be important, if you ever lose your way, I'll be there to pick you back up again. Alice and I. Another long silence. 4 more light flickers. Countless stars. Thank you. Allison laughs. Ha! It took you that long to say that. Hold on, what did it took you that long to say that? Maybe you're some kind of protagonist. I bet you were counting the street lights for Mama. Bro knew it. She knew it. I gave her a joking glare. Hey, shut up. I'm just teasing. Look. I looked over it. Allison was smiling, the first genuine smile I've seen from her since before Suki got missing. She stuck her hand out to me. Let's promise. If ever you start to falter or veer off the path you want to stay true to, tell me and we'll steer back on course together, okay? Ellie, are you sure? It could be dangerous, and I still don't know for sure why I'm doing this. I don't want you getting hurt, and I don't want you getting hurt unless I'm there to share your pain, okay? Let me be a burden. It was the most true I'd ever seen, even more so than that night in the hospital. I felt something from Allison that I'd never felt before, feelings of hers that I didn't know existed, and feelings inside myself that I didn't know existed. I smiled and shook her hand. Then it's settled. Thanks, Saturday. I feel better now. I'm gonna try and get some sleep. You should too. We have a big day tomorrow. Yeah, night-night, Allie. Allison stood up and proceeded to stand still in the balcony. For a few seconds, I looked up at her. What is it? Cat got your wit speed I didn't know she was capable of. Allison moved to my face and moved her face down mine and gave me a kiss on the cheek. Then she ran into the room and practically jumped into bed. I'm like, what? I sat there for a few moments, frozen, unsure of what happened. Hey, wait, Alice? But I didn't get a response. She's asleep already? Good God! I sighed. It looked like it would be a little longer before I got any answers on what that was all about. I stood up from my chair and walked back to my own bed. I laid down. Minutes passed. I stared at the ceiling. Hours passed. God dang it, now I really can't sleep. Chat, I need stuff. If I want to get more songs. You already know what it's time for. I was thinking of why so many residents of the Takashimas participate in speedrunning. The reason is the island's lack of work ethic. Okay, what? We are currently 24.57% done. I was thinking about oh, here we go. No, screw it. Screw it. Screw it. I don't need to play crosshatch. Guys, here we go. This episode is very long. It's recommended to be prepared before selecting the node. Chat, are we ready? Type 1 if you want me to do it. Actually, I gotta take that. Here we go. Episode 14. Saturday and her friends visit the Okawachi Shrine. Episode 14. The next day, Allison, Ari, and I toured around for the port town of Minimus Yasumi for a little while before our designated time to meet up with Chio for dinner. Ari was awake before us and left early. She spent most of the day touring a nearby island that seemed to be famous for have taken her for a cat person, but you never do really know. Well, I know now anyways, because of the unbelievable amount of messages I kept getting from her about the cats with no image, because her reception wasn't good enough for that. So I just imagine the cats in my mind. Allison and I woke up around the same time, which was late in the morning, close to noon, which makes sense, given that both of us got minimal sleep last night. We didn't really say much to each other as we left the hotel. Neither of us really knew what to say. I spent most of the day thinking about the irony of that. Our whole conversation had been about getting closer to each other, yet we spent the day avoiding each other. Not that I can really blame either of us. Regardless, the time eventually came for us to meet up with Chio. About an hour earlier, I received a request from her to go to a ramen place close to the hotel we were staying at. I forwarded that to the GC with Ari and Allison, and now I sit in front of the restaurant, and evidently I was the first one to arrive. Everyone else left, and then the disorganized one. Suddenly, I spotted a familiar silhouette in the distance. Ari ran up to me at full speed, which I didn't even know she was capable of. Ah, crap, dude, what's your problem? It gave me a dang jump scare, jeez. Sorry I'm late. The ferry back from the island got delayed by 10 minutes, and there was nothing I could do about it. Nah, it's all good. I take it from your messages that you had a good time. I glanced at my phone, which just opened up on the message string that contained a non-stop barrage of keyed smashes and oohs, which was again not something I'd expect to see from Ari in a million years. Ari launched into a tirade about every cat she saw on the island, and I leaned against the side wall of the restaurant building. About 3 minutes later, both Allison and Chio arrived at the same time. I ran into her on my way over here. She also seemed to be running a bit behind schedule, so we just ran here together. Am I the only one who's here on time? At least Ari has an excuse. Hey, I have an excuse. Are you going to, say what that is, or no? Okay, whatever, we're all here now. And I'm so hungry I could eat a house, so let's just go inside. Eat a house? The restaurant was surprisingly small on the inside, resulting in it taking us a little while to find a seat. We eventually sat down at a booth facing the door we came in through. Allison took her seat first, and I went to sit right beside her. For some reason, she fidgeted upon realizing this, but settled down quickly. A waitress came to take our order, and we ordered our food. Thank you very much. It'll be ready in about 10 to 15 minutes. The waitress walked away, and we sat and waited for a little while. Chio started talking to break the silence. So, Saturday, tell me what's been going on. It feels like it's been years since I saw you. That's because it has been years, Chio. The last time you saw me, I was in middle school. What? No, it's been sooner than that, sure. I thought I was there at the graduation party. Maybe. I have a historically horrendous memory. But it's really not been much since finishing high school. I've just kind of been unemployed, sitting at home on Tanegashima or Tsuki. For 2 years? You've been unemployed for 2 whole years? Hey man, lay off. Work is hard, motivation is hard. I like doing my own thing. Jeez, I feel bad for Suki, having to work to keep both of you afloat. You better make it up to her when you find her. I guess I never thought of it like that. Yeah, I will. Since the topic of discussion had obviously been shifted to something more serious, Chio leaned inward to speak in a more hushed tone. Can you explain to me everything you know? We didn't have time on the ferry. I might be able to help you look for her. Your family means a lot to me, you know? Right, yeah, I can recap a bit. And so I did. I spent the time until our food arriving telling Chio everything that happened up until that point. From the busy day on Tanakashima to arriving on the mainland, I did, of course, admit the interaction that Allison and I had last night. She didn't need to know about that. I see. I'm very sorry to hear about all that, but I'm very glad you got him to see him in one piece. Yeah, I am too. Allison was freaking out though. But rightfully so, I'd like to think. True, I appreciate it, but nonetheless. Allison looked away from me shyly. Just then the waitress walked back to her booth with 4 bowls and set them on the table. There you go, two tonkatsu broths, and 1 miso ramen and a bowl of plain rice. Did you seriously get a single bowl of plain rice, Eri, and nothing else? I looked over at Eri, who was already going to town on her bowl of plain rice. Shut up! Chio took a glance at Allison's dish and then mine. She looked at me inquisitively. Are you guys like... It's literally me! No, we're not! Are we what? Hey, Allison, don't spit your food all over your food. That's unsanitary, even for me. I took a napkin and started wiping out the area around Allison's bowl. She looked away abashedly, blushing harder than I'd seen from her in a very long time. Oh god. Ah, I see. Sorry, I just thought I'd ask. I don't follow, but okay. Time passed as we ate our food, exchanging small talk about the various things we've been up to in our lives. It was the first time in a while I felt a small sense of togethership, probably since Suki went missing. It was the first time in at least a week that I felt like things might actually be okay as long as we stuck with each other. Eventually we paid for a meal and left the restaurant. Once we got outside, Chia poked my shoulder and she turned to face me. Let's get serious for a second. What are you planning on doing next in your search for Suki? We're gonna investigate that shrine that was pointed to in the coordinates we got from the shrine report video. If she went there at the time specified, then there might be something there that would clue us in to where she may have gone at. When are you going? I looked at my watch. The time read 6:05 a.m. Tonight, at the same time as specified in the video, 12:12 a.m. I don't know why, but I just have this gut feeling that matching the time will help provide some kind of insight. Maybe something only happens there at that time. You need a ride to the shrine. If it's where you described, it's a bit of a drive out. You'd be willing? We hadn't actually figured out a ride there yet. Yeah, my rental car is here. It's inside the park. I'm boarding the ferry to Tanishima as a foot passenger. Wait, rental car? I mean, yeah, I live in Tokyo. No way I was gonna drive all the way out here. I took a trip over various bus lines. She lives in Tokyo? Did she always? I swear she lived there so long back. Regardless, that would be great. Should we meet up around 10 or 11 then? Yeah, I've got some stuff to take care of. So 10:30 would probably be best. Gives us plenty of time to get out there. I guess you'd just meet us by our hotel? Where is that exactly? You never told me. I'm heading down the road since the hotel was within the restaurant we ate was. Yeah. Works for me, I'll see you then. She walked off, leaving the 3 of us standing there. Harry poked my shoulder, broke me out of my daze. It seemed people had a thing for poking my shoulders today. God, I was like, oh, it was just you, Harry. What's up? Allison told me she wanted to check out the night market with me, so we're gonna go do that. You wanna join us? Nah, I'll head back to the hotel and just chill. Let me know when you're on your way back, okay? Will do. Harry and Allison walked off in the opposite direction toward the night market. I decided to take a short stroll before returning to the hotel room to wait. As I walked by the ocean, I thought about Chio. It was probably just due to the fact that I hadn't seen her in literal years, but something about the things she said felt off to me. Not like she's hiding something, but more so like she and I have different recollections of things. When I think about how I know her, my memories pull up the fact of her being an old family friend. Yet something about that also doesn't feel fully right. Like, it's not the main reason I knew her when I was younger, and I don't have any memories of her living in Tokyo. But something about that just feels right. Like, I've always known it. It's not that the memories I have of her being an old family friend from Tanegashima feel false per se. It's more like I have two seats of things I know. I remember that both feel like the correct one, despite the fact that some stuff about them cancels out the other. I thought about this for a while, but found it was only driving me kind of crazy, so I decided to stop. I spotted a lone tortoiseshell cat loafing on the stairway down to a beach and decided to take a breather, so I went and sat with it. I guess I can't really blame Mary for being a cat person. I love these little doofuses. Time passed. I walked back to our hotel room, and then more time passed. I thought about Allison and our interactions last night. I don't think I've ever really thought of Allison in a romantic light, if that was even what she meant by kissing me on the cheek. I had been very open about my sexuality in a long time, but despite that, I never really acted on it much. More so, it just meant that I liked a lot of anime characters and breaks. Get literally. And a joke about it like that. I thought for a while, and then I caught myself thinking, I guess I really have changed, at least a bit. You never would have caught me being remotely this introspective, like 2 weeks ago. When we lose people in our life, be it that they die or even that just go missing, I've heard things feel like a blur, that your emotions feel like none of it is real. On that day of Tanegashima that ended with the Geology Museum incident, it's not here. Let's forget. Right, there we go. On that day on Tanegashima that ended with the Geology Museum incident, I think I'd been expecting for my emotions to feel a bit more numbed. Not that it really excuses me acting out the whole day, but I don't think I was just expecting to, well, I guess, just feel as much as I did. Feelings of worry I anticipated, but I felt so many other things that I didn't really know what to make of anything. I guess the best way to put it was that things felt the opposite of the way I anticipated them to. I expected nothing to feel real, but everything feels like it's been the first real thing that's happened in a long time. But the feelings I've had are the most real feelings I've had in a long time. The situation is awful, because I'm feeling that worry and anxiety to such a degree. In a strange way, it makes the result hope and love I feel even stronger as a result. I wish we as people didn't have to experience tragedy so that we could feel that way. I wonder if I'll ever find a way to feel deeply in tune with myself that doesn't require me to lose something I care about first. I think I will. It might not be a bad thing to try to accomplish before my time is up. More time passed, I decided to play some video games on my Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch! Eventually, my waiting game was over, and Allison and Ari walked in the door. About dang time! You really know how to keep a girl waiting. Relax, we spend a lot of time looking around the market. It's not every day you get to visit a night market. We literally have one back in Tanegashima. Saturday, I am unfortunately a cop. It's not every day I get to visit a night market. Fair enough, I guess. What time is it? Allison looked and told us. It's about 9:35, so we've got about 55 minutes before Chiro arrives. If you guys want to play something, I can literally load up Slash right now. Oh, you don't know what you're unleashing. I haul booty at Slash Bros. I think that's the first time I've heard you swear, Mary. That's about getting Super Slash Bros the best plus. I take slashing very seriously. I'm pretty sure that's the exact type of stuff the people you're supposed to catch say. Harry left, and I put the kickstand on my console up. We passed the time laughing and chatting while video games playing for the next time. Oh, wait, she just texted me. She's up for it. Oh, got it. Let's go. We walked down the stairwell and out to the front of the hotel, where Chio's waiting in the car she rented. Luckily, it had enough room to fit 4 people with relative ease. With relative ease! Harry sat down in the... Wait. My thing was... Frick. Harry sat down in the back first, and Allison quickly rushed in next to her, which left me in the front seat next to Chio. Darn it! Why was Harry not in the front? The ride out was relatively uneventful, with the occasional conversation. It was about a 40-minute drive with the route that Chio took, passing by the Osumi Lodge Park. Eventually, we arrived. The stairs up to the shrine were steep, but guardrails helped us not lose our footing. The walk felt like an eternity, if only due to how nervous I clearly was. Chio noticed and helped me walk up, which helped a lot. And finally, there was none. Mikawachi's shrine. The location specified in the shrine report video. It was much smaller than I anticipated. The actual shrine itself barely seemed able to fit even 10 people. Behind it was a maintenance shack that was locked and empty. It seemed like the enshrined deity is Aihatsu Hime, the first wife of Emperor Junior. We spent a while investigating the area. After a while, I spotted something out of the corner of my eye. When I realized what it was, I froze. Hey, Eri. She turned to me inquisitively. What's up? You find something? Yeah, you could say that. Look over there. I couldn't support the small wooden object I'd spotted in my peripheral vision. Eri turned to look. Her face also went pale. It was a toy rocking horse, small inside, made of wood with no decor or any kind of paint. Second Shrine.png. It's the horse from the image, isn't it? Hold on, let me check. What's going on? You guys find something? Chio and Allison jogged over to where we were. I explained to them the image file that Eri had found since neither of them knew about it yet. It's the very same. Look, you can compare them. I did as she instructed, and sure enough, it was the rocking horse that was taken in the picture. So this is where that picture was taken, huh? I guess the time stamp has passed. It's not the 26th of July anymore. The horse is still here in the same position. Hey, it's Saturday, look. Chio pulled out her phone and showed me the dark time, 12 a.m. Time to see if my shot in the dark was correct. It's been over a week since the designated time, and yet I can't shake the feeling that something was meant to happen here tonight at 12 a.m. It started to rain. We walked by over the part of the shrine protected by the roof. Minutes passed. Then 1, then 2, then 3, then a lip. I felt a part of me hoping that nothing would happen, that there was nothing I could do and the chase would end here. It would, in a lot of ways, make my life easier, even for all the ways it would also make it harder, but I dismissed the notion from my mind. I've come this far. 12 a.m. The rain fell silent. The crickets stopped chirping. The world stopped moving, and in the silence I heard it. A single sound, one single click. The world resumed. The rain continued falling. The crickets continued chirping, but I heard of it. I looked at the others. I saw them if they also heard. Immediately I could tell from the looks on their faces that I was not alone. We split up to look around. Nothing by the horse, nothing in the shrine, nothing on the stairs, nothing by the car, and then when I looked behind the shrine, I saw it. Immediately, I saw it. The heavy padlock that surrounded the maintenance shack stand was no longer there. I signaled to the others, since the sound had dropped silence, only communicating visually. None of us knew we were doing it, but we were. The reason for this, I had no idea. Allison, Eri, and Chio walked over to where I was, standing, and I pointed to the missing padlock. Eri gave me a look as if to say if there was ever a point of no return, this would be it. And I thought about the life I could lead if I turned around and went home. I didn't know what lay beyond the door, but I knew in my soul that opening the door to this maintenance shack would change everything. Was I really about to do this, to take the kind of risk, to open up forbidden gate to the truth? I closed my eyes and turned the handle on the door. The inside of the maintenance shack, it turned out was not a maintenance shack at all, but a large, windowing winding spiral staircase that seemed to stretch downwards forever. We walked down slowly, as if taking time to digest the things we hadn't even seen yet. Finally, we arrived at the bottom, and were greeted with a large door. Is it open? The others jumped, which makes sense, given that nobody had said anything in a long while. Nothing to it but to try, I guess. Sure enough, the door swung open with a large creak. Oh god. Opening up into a large passageway. We started walking down. So, what do you suppose a place like this is doing beneath a normal shrine? I haven't the foggiest idea, and yet it feels like this makes sense somehow. I understood what she meant. Despite the oddity in every aspect of this situation, this place had a sense of familiarity to it, even though I was reasonably confident I'd never been here. Sunrise. What's that, Molly? I don't know why, but the Sunrise Foundation comes to mind when I think of a place like this. The Sunrise Foundation? That's just the geology company my sister works at. What would they have to do with a place like this? No, I understand what Allison means. This entire place, it makes me think of that company. I don't know why. We finally reached the end of the long hallway and found a large gate in front of us, locked shut by 3 large metal claws. Something tells me this thing isn't going to budge quite as easily. I wouldn't be too sure. Look, there's a screen over there. I looked in the pointing direction and saw an unlit device. It appeared to be some kind of terminal. Maybe, but that thing's off. Suddenly, as if the very place we'd stood had heard my words, light flickered on, and the screen of the terminal powered on. Everyone present jumped. What the heck? I continuously approached the device. All that displayed on the screen was a single button labeled open. This feels planned. I need to be honest, I felt it this entire time. I can't be the only one who feels it. No, it's not just you. It feels like someone or something is leading us along the trail of crumbs, right? I agree, but it's not like we can really just turn back now, right? Yeah, I'm with Saturday on this one. I looked at Allison. Despite everything she'd said to me, I could tell that everything she did still came from a place of worry. She was thinking exactly the same thing as I was, that if we turned back now, our lives would eventually end up so much easier. But I could tell from the look in her eyes that she knew just as well as I did that that wasn't an option anymore. I pressed the button on the terminal. Loud whirring sounds filled the hallway, and slowly but surely each metal claw returned in front of the gate. Finally, the gate opened. Data parsing incompatible. Boundaries exceeded. Accessing memories. Memory access failed. 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 Memory access. Iteration sympathy fast. Accessing Dustbreaker backup information database. Filling location cavities. What happened? I sat up dazed. Allison and Chio also seemed to come down with the same affliction. Something is really off about this place. You three walked out. You three passed out the moment we walked in here. Passed out? How long has it been? Relax, only like 5 minutes. It's 12:37 right now. Thank goodness it hasn't been that long, at least. But what is this place? We looked around the area. This place is. Chio walked up to the center of the room. She sat at the abandoned chair for a short while, then spoke. This is the Sunrise Foundation's 4th laboratory atrium. Oh god. Sunrise Foundation? But Chio turned back to look at us. She had a look of immense panic on her face. We have to get out of here right now. Get out of here, but we just got here. This is what we came all this way to see. Chio ran up to me and grabbed me by the shoulders. No, Saturday. We need to get out of here right now. Trust me. I shook her hand off my shoulder and lost my temper. Why? Tell me why. Give me one good reason why we should leave the place. I traveled all the way out here to see one. We just got here. You might be scared of whatever this place is, but I'm not. So, no, Saturday, we need to leave because... Suddenly, a loud rumbling sound filled the atrium. The ground shook below, so my vision blurred. Out of the corner of my eye, parts of the geometry that made up the atrium began to twitch in a way I'd never seen before. Then a large piece of the ceiling came loose and fell to the ground, landing just a few feet behind Chio. This place is caving in, so we need to get out of here. I gotta charge myself. understood immediately. The four of us ran as fast as we could to the gate. Just went through. Passing through. As you ran, bits of the large hallway began to come loose and fall as well. And it happened. And then it happened. A single chunk of metal that came loose directly above where Allison was about to pass by. I knew in an instant that it would land on her. God dang it, no. I rushed further with all my might. I'd never achieved before and jumped for it. Allison! All the sound cut. World paused again. In that silence, I heard it once again. That single click. Here we go again! Here we go. Here we go, chat. That's one of each. $8,000.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play that again. Here's only the 5. There might be a reset. This is an easy one. There it is. There it freaking is. There it is! That's a S rank. That's 3. But I am gonna have to redo that because I got 445 instead of 500. Alright, looks like this is mainly a tech map, but pretty streamy. It's pretty streamy. I would just crap this. Of this, but then I remembered that I actually gotta try. Hey! Let's go. 4-4. And let's end it all off with crosshatch. No, I'm just kidding. It should be good to get a 500 here, if I just lock in. There it is! Hey. 10,000 rating. Now we go to the node flowchart. Alright, what are we looking for? L plus R, left plus right. Alright. 3, 3, 4, 6. And then 6, and then 3 but it's blue. 4, 4, 6, 6, 6, and then 6 but it's blue. 3, 4, 6, 4 but it's blue. 3, and then 3 but it's blue. 4 but it's blue, and then 5 but it's blue. And then finally 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and then 12 but it's blue. First thing that I'm thinking is to just add all the numbers in red and blue, and then subtract red and then blue. Which is 22 minus 3, which is 19 on the first one. 26 minus 6 for this one, which is 20. 13 minus 12, which is 1 for the one. And then 30 minus 12, which is 18. So I come to think about it, they're all in hex codes. Not hex. They're all in A R star. Freaking easy. What? Alright, for this next puzzle, we have exclamation mark, @ symbol, hashtag, and $sign. I'm thinking hashtag is the unit one, so it's 1. And I'm thinking the @ symbol is 10. The hashtag is 25, and the $sign is 35. It's saying that one person, 5 people, is 1 car. The first thing we have person, exclamation mark, and then hashtag. I gotta be honest, these like clock ciphers are gonna be the death of me. Alright. So this first equation, I'm guessing here, is just person, exclamation mark, hashtag. Which is like, I'm guessing, I'm just gonna replace these with like variables. Exclamation marks A, @ is B, hashtag is C, and then $sign is T, and then I'm gonna use them as numbers. So 1 AD, and then 5, 1 AC, 5 AD, and then we have 5 AB plus 5 AB, which ends up being 10 AB squared. Then we have 1 AB as well as 5 AC plus 5 BC, which ends up being 10 ABC squared. And the last one is 5 CD. And then lastly, 1 AC plus 5 BD. Which in turn comes out to 6 A, B, C, D. B, B, O, S, B, okay, I'm kind of confused here. I'm gonna open up the first hint for this one. Alright. I'm gonna stop thinking of them as variables and start treating that like it's a distance, because it looks like that's in like a number line sort of thing. The distance between the first and third is 25. The card taking the first to the third symbol is 35, which is 7. Takes the card from the first one to the second one twice is 2 plus 2 is 4. Alright, next one is 10. Next one is, oh wait, I'm gonna change it to car format. It's 25, which is 5, plus at hash, which is 3, which is 8. Hash $10, which is 2. And then exclamation hash, which is 25 divided by 5 is 5. And then at $. Right, just 10. 5 L R L. All right. Am I doing this wrong? And what's 25? 5. 35, 7. Oh, 25. That's it. Bye. Alright, I'm gonna get the numbers. Alright. TROSSE. Oh my god, I did it. I'm too good. Here we go, chat. Loud. Loud, 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 loud. Nothing but loud noises, nothing but noise. Was it the falling rubble or the static that followed me every second I spent trying to find myself? Whatever the noise is, I want it to go away. Go away. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Get me out of here. I need to live. We need to live. I need to live! Ah! I jolted back into consciousness. 3 pairs of eyes looked down at me. I'm alive. Barely. Luckily you managed to get Allison out of the way in time, but it's only then I felt the immeasurable pain in my lower leg. I looked down to see a large gash in my lower right leg. Ah! I screamed for a while. Eventually, the pain dulled a bit. Eric explained what had happened since I passed out. I managed to save Allison and avoid getting fully crushed myself, but a piece of the debris had latched itself into my right leg, and I passed out from shock. She had removed the debris shortly before I woke up. I looked toward the door that led to the long hall. The entrance was entirely caved in with the rubble and debris. There was no possible way back to the atrium. Before I was able to get any words out, I started my sobbing uncontrollably. Allison rushed over to my side in an instant and hugged me tightly. Mary and Chia sat down on the stairs, and that was how the 4 of us stayed for a while.
Minutes passed in an hour. Finally, my leg felt well enough to move, even if lightly. Allison propped me up, and four of us slowly walked up the spiral staircase without a word. It feels like everything's changed, but nothing's changed. As we walked back to Chio's car silently, I thought again of that hypothetical timeline in which I didn't open the door to the laboratory basement. I wonder if I regretted the choice I made. I did now, but I wondered if I would in time. Back in Chio's car, Allison sat me down. Moira, I applied basic first aid, but it won't be enough to hold. Unfortunately, the only hospital, around here that doesn't keep the emergency open from doesn't keep the emergency room open from 1 to 5 a.m. for some ungodly reason. So until we can get you in the hospital, we'll just have to rest in my hotel. I'm not a doctor, but I can assure you that the wound shouldn't cause any significant damage before we can get to the hospital. I nodded weakly. It was all I could do. Chio started the car and I drove away. As we left the small parking lot, I looked back at the shrine stairway, and that was when I saw it. On the road, that was right, the place we parked, with no indication of we moved it. By a small wooden rocking horse. By the time we arrived in the hotel room, it was already long past 2 in the morning. Chio called the hospital and confirmed that the emergency room would open again in about 2 hours, so we had just had to wait and keep an eye on my wound until then. It stopped hurting badly during the ride back, but the sight of it made me nauseous, so I avoided trying to look at it. And so we sat there in silence for a while, nobody sure what to say. Finally, Eric broke the silence. While we're here, and before we inevitably get split up, well, Saturday goes to the hospital, we wanted to ask something. Everyone looked at her as if to give permission to continue without her. Adrian, Chio, you seem to recognize it's something related to Sunrise Foundation, but that's impossible. Can you explain? Chio sat up a bit, having slouched over in the way. I can, but it's a bit complicated. I was thinking about it on the way back, and if now's not a good time, then please tell me more. Chio looked at me worriedly and then nodded. Okay then. That's the thing is that my memory feels like the conflict with each other. The shrine just me a normal shrine, but somehow there was a Sunrise Foundation laboratory underneath. And I don't know how I know it's a Sunrise Foundation thing, but I just do. And I know that's correct. When we were leaving the basement, all of us were in such a hurry, and Saturday was so at the bit that I don't think anyone noticed. And I took a moment to look back at it, the shrine, while we were walking away from it. When I saw it, it confused me more. What was it? Chia stopped, as if contemplating whether to open Pandora's box even further. I nodded to her, as if to beg. But when I looked at the shrine, it was no longer a shrine. It was an abandoned building, and the logo above the door was withered away, but I knew what it said without needing to see it at all. It was a building belonging to the Sunrise Foundation. What? I chalked it up to a lessened sense of thought due to the events that had just transpired, and tried not to think about it as we got in the car and left. And on the way down, I saw something else strange. A stairway leading to the shrine. The Okawachi Shrine. But what do you mean the stairway leading to the Okawachi Shrine? Saturday, please don't stress yourself too much. We're trying to keep your wound from acting up. I looked over at Alice and apologized. Sorry, right. It's just, I don't understand how that makes sense. The city of VR mind meant that we arrived at, and the other one we left felt ever so slightly different. The best way to put it might be like so. Chio took out a piece of paper and drew a loose illustration. Look, when we arrived at the parking lot, it's the same altitude as the start of the stairs leading up to the shrine. Chio took a piece of paper and flipped it over, trying similarly. On the left, it was like this. The stairs we walked down led to an abandoned Sunrise Foundation building, and there was a second set of stairs further that led to the Okawachi Shrine. Was the layout of the area changed while we were inside the basement? I mean, it appears that way, but isn't that impossible? Like, I shouldn't have to explain that. Right, that just isn't physically possible. No, I know, but the fact is that it did change, right? Or did all of us get collectively hallucinate? The way it appeared when we got there. I think the mere likely conclusion would be that Chio saw wrong when we were leaving. After all, tensions were really high and it was extremely dark. See, you'd think so, and I'd be inclined to agree, but then we come back to the thing I mentioned earlier about my memories conflicting with each other. Because both of these layouts feel right, if that makes sense. What do you mean? Like, neither of them felt like I was seeing things, like both of these versions of the way the area looked were correct. The Okawachi Shrine being right by the parking lot and Sunrise Building being in that same place both feel like the true way the area is laid out. Chio, what is the Sunrise Foundation? What did you lean to? I don't know. I think I was in play there. You think? Look, I was never in play at the Sunrise Foundation. I remember how my life has played out up until now. But also, I swear I have some memories of working there, of helping make something important. I'm working out that lab underneath the shrine. It's another one of those things where both of the options feel like they're the right one. Not like I can't choose, but they're both right at the same time. And then there's that video, the shrine report. Do you know about that as well? Yeah, I started watching it when I met with her on the ferry. It caught me off guard. How did you come to find out about the video anyway? An anonymous text message randomly appeared on my phone this under and changed the wall no time. Well, there was a time. It was January 1st, 1970. Unix time. Well, the beginning. Unix time 0. Yeah, the message itself was interesting too. It was a jumbled mix of hexadecimal. Yeah, let's spray the process. Roughly translates this. Would have been inclined to believe it's a spam message, if not for the Unix 0 thing, so I found the video. I was already on my way back to the mainland after my Tanegashima vacation, so I didn't have time to solve the video before Saturday. And then to be on the ferry, and then she told me the solution over dinner anyway. Right, I don't know why I can't shake the feeling that it's related to the Sunrise Foundation. Even if it feels like a lot more might be related to the Sunrise Foundation than me, was live for thought, and yet I also feel like none of us truly know what it is. I looked out in my room for the first time in a while. It was a reminder to myself of what I'd done chasing my Siri. As it to be one final decision, or if I really wanted to choose. I want to figure all this out. I want to investigate this. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I turned back now. Saturday. I agree. I want to look into the Sunrise Foundation and get to the bottom of this conflict and memories tonight. That is enough. This will go no more further. Everyone jumped at the sudden shout in an unfamiliar voice. Everyone looked their gaze to the source of the noise of the balcony. The door was ajar. Standing in it was a figure, tall and slim. They wore a mask and bodysuit to cover their appearance, but something about them had a crushing familiarity, and in their hand lay a small pistol. If you continue to endanger this world, my world, I have no choice but to end this by force. Chio jumped up as if to shield us. Harry, Allison, and I remained frozen in shock. Who are you? What are you doing? The tall figure took one step into the hotel room. Chio backed up a bit in fear. You, the arbiter of the rule, but I'll not allow this cycle to continue any longer. Chio watched this in fear as the tall figure raised their pistol and pointed it directly at Chio's chest. No, please, the figure tilted their head to look at me briefly, and in that moment I felt an indescribable sense of sorrow and grief. My vision went blurry. I'm sorry. I shut my eyes in desperation as if to pull myself out of the nightmare I'd found myself in, and then I heard the click and then the bang. I dropped my guard and let her on my sight. A mistake was only a child would make, and yet here I was. Desperately, I clambered out of my bed and up to my computer. Oh God dang it, where are you? Where? Ah! And I saw it. A hotel room. The situation unfolding within the action the World Keeper was about to take. Perhaps there. Anyway, I could interface with the NLA in enough time. I began to desperately search my files as fast as I could, and eventually found my way back to what I was looking for. The control panel I forced my way into. Please go through entire client. Signal flashed, and the woman captured and frozen. I made it just like it. Oh my God, thank goodness. There's no time to place. Freezing would only last for so long. It was time to get to work. This is just a barcode. Oh, this is a barcode. I can guarantee you this is a barcode. It just says hint, it's not a barcode. Oh, I know what to do here. There's 10 sets of things. First one has a set of 16 squares. So 1 is 16. 16 is P. 2 has 18. 18 is R. 3 has 15. 15 is O. 4 has 20. 20 is T. 5 is 5. And 5 is E. 6 is 3. 3 is 6. E. 3 is C. Seven is the same. It's 4. 8 is 9. 9 is I. And 9 is 15. Fifteen is O. 7 is 14. Triangle is protection. What about this freaking barcode looking thing? Oh, I know what this is. This is freaking... What's it called? This is Morse code. I know a bit of Morse code. And this roughly translate to... This is D-E-T. Square is D-E-T-E-Z-T-I-O-N. Square's detection. Achieve an S on Pyromania finale. And 700 max in 4. Dead. Dun. Oh, that sucked.
Let's go. Where did I get a good?
From home updates to major repairs, Bauer, heavy duty.